Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WCW Worldwide Review Series for the 15th of August, 2000. I'm sorry, 19 and 92. Once again, they show the highlights of Ron Simmons and Vader to kick things off here. Uh, they highlight that pretty well, and the win of the championship is considered a big thing here, obviously. Ron Simmons in the summer '92, probably the one of the hottest baby faces in all of pro wrestling. The Steiners up next with an enhancement talent match, which might not have pleased them, but they're here. G.Q. Strauss is one of the enhancement talent guys, rather big, bulky guy who gets thrown around by the Steiners anyway. Steiner's not intimidated by anybody other than maybe their own shadow upon occasion. Anyhow, we move towards kind of reestablishing the Steiners as a bigger deal because they have, in fact, been through losses. Uh, Scott Steiner takes the man down with a kick to the back of the leg, followed by a couple of shots there, and the desire to get them back on top with Doc and Gordy is the main focus of the match. The enhancement talents fall to the Frankensteiner really quick in under 5 minutes of television time in total. Then we go back to a highlight package of I guess, the problems between Dustin Rhodes and Valentine and Slater, and then kind of roll up their highlights of previous matches from previous eras and in the last few weeks. Then we go back to a Van Hammer match after that highlight package. Van Hammer, of course, relatively new guy in the area, doesn't do too many moves. Really short match by nature, probably about 3 or 4 minutes, including highlights of a leaping shoulder tackle and a slingshot suplex. 1, 2, 3, and off we go. Paul Heyman says the Dangerous Alliance is kind of reorganizing. He's frustrated with some of the lack of progress from the Dangerous Alliance, but at the same time, not um, detoured from the Alliance mission. That's the main focus of his 2 or 3 minute promo here. Odd team of Flying Brian Pillman and Marcus Bagwell against Anderson and Eaton. Anderson and Eaton, pretty big deal here. Pillman leading the charge, and Pillman and Bagwell, who don't team for a very long time, although they do have a couple matches for a few months around this time while Pillman is getting ready for his heel turn. Cut off by the heels of Anderson and Eaton on Pillman. Pillman takes punishment for the next several minutes, including but not limited to Brian Pillman with the drop kick under the chin of a Arn Anderson leaping right into his face. Then we see Bobby Eaton managing to cut the ring off on Bagwell. Bagwell learning how to sell, learning how to position himself in matches that matter, and kind of getting used to being a featured talent, moving up the card a little bit anyway. Arn Anderson trying to break the arm and shoulder of Bagwell, and really a worthwhile match to see if you're interested in basic psychology. Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson, but mainly Eaton for the second half of the match, stays on the arm of the prone and inexperienced Bagwell as we go forward there. Highlights with a Ron Simmons interview, longer form, where he talks about being proud to be WCW champion, talks about wanting to build the future for WCW, even behind the podium, and highlights of sit-down interviews as well. Tracy Smothers doing the majority, I guess you'd say, kind of enhancement talent stuff here. Smothers and Barry Windham. Out here, Smothers, of course, doing the wild-eyed Southern boy thing for a little bit. We should see Eric Watts, who eventually, within the next couple of weeks or months, comes on as a full-time wrestler, but here he's in the crowd, just watching the action. We get used to his face, I guess, is the idea. Um, Not exactly, the greatest thing in the world to overexpose a guy in that way. Wyndham manages to take some punishment before hitting a roll up on his own part. Hard shots by Tracy Smothers, and Smothers manages to hit a couple of shots there. Big sunset flip along the way, and kick to the midsection Irish whip by Wyndham. Wyndham manages the backdrop and the gut wrench suplex, pretty well powering the guy over and showing the discrepancy between himself and Tracy Smothers. Hard clothesline lariat style by Wyndham gets him the victory there. We then move towards highlights of Sting getting into it with Rick Rude. Cactus Jack trying to run in and cause issues there. Of course, Sting now firmly embroiled in his match with, or series of matches with Jake Roberts. That is the highlight package here. We once again see the several minutes of Roberts laying out his adversary here. We see an enhancement match with the new WCW champion, Ron Simmons. And Simmons basically takes the guy down, does some really basic things, power slam along the way, slams a bigger enhancement talent guy. Simmons eventually hits the spine buster, gets the victory, and is your continuing reigning and defending WCW champion there. More highlights package in the About Me section, or the WCW magazine section as it is. Might as well call it About Me, because that's about what it turns into. Main event match of the day as Cactus Jack faces off against Ricky Steamboat. Steamboat has been injured by the Dangerous Alliance and Cactus Jack from previous weeks, has his rib cage and the surrounding area taped up. Leg drops and basic brawling by Cactus Jack, stays on the ribs and midsection of Steamboat. Steamboat still fights out from underneath for the next several minutes. Cactus Jack doesn't exactly seem worried about it. Cut off by Steamboat with the neck breaker and a inverted neck breaker of same sort a couple minutes later. Kick caught by Steamboat and the missed clothesline by Cactus. Steamboat manages a clothesline of his own, and Cactus drapes the foot over the bottom rope to give him the ability to break the plane and continue to stay in the match. Big back body drop by Steamboat. Steamboat is partially exhausted, partially frustrated, but not enjoying life nonetheless. Hard shots by Steamboat, continuing the chaos that is the kind of the go through there, and a double body, basically double crossbody over the top rope, and Cactus Jack gets the count out victory as Steamboat has difficulty in continuing, but Cactus chooses to dive off of the ring apron with the crack smash right before we close the program. Till next time, until we meet again, that is the continuation of the WCW series here. Till we meet again, folks.